Hi, Jim Van Zant, one of the pastors here at Carlisle United Methodist Church, Sermon in 3 Minutes. Thanks for tuning in. We're doing a post-Easter series entitled, What Would Jesus Say To? And then each week we fill in the blank. This past week it was, What Would Jesus Say to the One Percenters? One percenter, in our common lexicon today, is given to mean those in the top 1% of the population of the United States according to wealth, according to income. And what I could find from the 2016 IRS statistics is if you make $490,000 a year or more, you are one of those one percenters. Really, the story is about the sermon was about what would Jesus say to the rich, to the wealthy. Well, most of us assume that what Jesus has to say to the rich and wealthy is probably not good. That if Jesus ever tells a story, and in that story there's a rich guy and a poor guy, you almost automatically assume that it's the rich guy that's going to be the bad guy in the story. Not always the case. One of the things that Jesus does say to wealthy people in his day is what I think he would say today to wealthy people as well. He would say, guard against greed as far as possible in your life, to remember that wallets wear out, but eternal treasure doesn't, and also to remember that to whom much is given, much is expected. I think that's what Jesus would have to say now as he would back then. But one of the things he would never say is, I condemn you for being wealthy. Jesus never does that. He never condemns the rich for being rich. We listened to one of the parables Jesus told, and it's the story of the rich man and Lazarus. There's a poor beggar man named Lazarus who sits outside of the front door of a rich man, a wealthy man in the scriptures. Both die. The rich man, the Lazarus goes to heaven, the rich man doesn't go to heaven. And in the parable, what's interesting, once again, Jesus does not condemn the rich man for being rich. What he condemns him for is not being compassionate. That's the other thing that Jesus would say to the rich. Remember compassion. It's not about the money, it's about compassion. And so we spent the rest of the sermon on Sunday talking about compassion and the things that we have compassion for. Because compassion isn't just sympathy or kindness. Compassion is defined as to suffer with another. You know, in nearly every statistical report I've ever seen about the giving patterns of the income classes in America, it's always the working poor that are the most generous. It seems they are able to identify with their neighbor's issue and are willing to enter in. They give a higher percentage of their income away to help others than any other class of folks here in the United States do. So, as you go about your day and this day, thank God for what it is that you are blessed with in your life. And I hope you too will remember that it's not about the money, it's about being compassionate. And look for those places in your life where you can express true compassion. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Sermon in 3 Minutes.